The first ever Spot Avalanche ETF just launched on the Nasdaq, but the chart's printing a high stakes make or break pattern. Today, guys, we're going to be looking at the $12 support battle, the lofty $100 price targets, and the 5 massive news stories that are driving Avalanche in 2026. So first, we're going to take a look at the charts. Let's dive in. All right, guys, now if we pull up the chart here, we can see that, Avalanche looks like to be in a major crossroads. We had a volatile start to the year. We had a volatile end to 2025 with the major liquidation event in October. Just kind of looks like retail fear. Okay, we're sitting at this $1.80. We do not want to break this low, this 11.29. If we break that, $8.50 is in play. What we really want to get to, though, if we look at the chart, let me zoom out here a little bit. And let me go to just a longer term view here. Okay, right here, this line, 1571-ish, right? Right around this zone. Right here, tagged it, tagged it, tagged it. Okay, if we can get above 1568, that will make me rest easy at night. Until then, it's going to be chop. It's going to be between 11 and 15. And I know that's a $4 range. It's a huge range. But looking at this overall chart, like we were up to over 30 bucks. October liquidation, crash, crash, crash. Found a little tiny bit of support at this 1560, bounced off it and fell right through. Okay, so again, that's important. Getting above 1560 is important. Falling below these most recent lows, 1130. Honestly, we could see 850. Let's just take a quick look at this most recent here. Low to high, $9, right? So if we break 1125, it could be a straight shot down to $9. So that's what we're going to be looking for until we can reclaim. Like I said, until we can reclaim 1560 short term. Man, we gotta hope we hold 1125. All right, guys. So where is Avalanche heading? Right, this subnet narrative is really starting to take hold. So here are the 2026 tiers. First, we're in this bear mode right now. We have to reclaim 1560, or we could see all the way down to $9. So that's the bear case, is a range of 1560 all the way down to $9. The conservative case, though, for 2026 right now, we're going to assume 25 to 35 bucks. This assumes Avalanche will recover back to its 2025 mean as the new spot ETF begins to absorb sell-side pressure. Okay, the ETF is going to absorb some of the sell side, and that is big for price stability. Okay, the moderate range, 55 to 75. This is kind of out there, but we can talk about it. This would be the institutional case. If Galaxy Digital tokenization pilots move into full production, this would be a mid-year target. In our bullish case, a lot of things go right, and we just see an explosion. We're saying 100 to 120. This is very, very optimistic and probably a low probability of success or to get up to that range. But this would be a return to the triple digits. Standard Chartered and other analysts are eyeing $100 by late 2026 if Avalanche captures the majority of private credit tokenization market. So we are going to have to see if that plays out and keep an eye up on the news. And speaking of news, we've got 5 major news stories, all surrounding Avalanche just from this past month, starting with the VanEck Spot ETF launch on January 25th, 2026. The big one, guys, it's finally here. The VanEck Avalanche ETF, VAVX, officially began trading on the Nasdaq today. This opens the door for pension funds and 401ks to hold Avalanche directly, providing a massive new source of permanent liquidity. Story number 2, guys, Galaxy Digital's $75 million tokenized loan. Galaxy just executed its first ever tokenized collateralized loan obligation on Avalanche. So this proves the network can handle complex institutional credit, which is big. So this proves moving real world assets out of the pilot phase and into reality. Story number 3, Retro 9000 $40 million grant program. The Avalanche Foundation just kicked off a $40 million retroactive grant program. So unlike other grants, this rewards developers based on actual on-chain activity and gas burned, specifically targeting the C chain's growth. Guys, this is just an incentive. This is an incentive for people to and developers to create meaningful applications on Avalanche. And after the fact, if they are successful, be rewarded for it. Our fourth story, Avalanche Treasury Company, AVAT, Nasdaq listing, right? It's on the Nasdaq. So plans were finalized this week for AVAT to list on the Nasdaq. This entity aims at holding over $1 billion in Avalanche as a corporate treasury reserve, similar to Strategy and similar to BitMine. So guys, we are seeing the formation of another digital asset treasury focused on Avalanche. Is this going to be the future? One big player in each major network? We're going to have to see how this pans out, but this is great news for Avalanche because that kind of means we are going to have a persistent buyer, hopefully setting a floor for the price. So we'll have to see how this plays out, but these are all great stories and great news for Avalanche, the price, and the network. And finally, guys, we noticed record-breaking network activity. So despite the price chop, active addresses on Avalanche surged from 30,000 to over 600,000 in a single week in this January. So between the build games competition and the new DeFi subnets, the Avalanche ecosystem is the most active that it's been in 2 years. This is another thing that's great to see in the news as activity on the network increases. That means adoption, utility, everything's going in the right direction. So guys, in closing here, Avalanche is successfully pivoting from a retail chain to an institutional powerhouse. So do you think, let me know in the comments, the ETF launch is enough to send us back to 100? Or are the bears in control of the $12 floor? Drop your 2026 prediction down in the comments and we'll see you in the next one.